Firefighters nearly of the Valley Fire fully contain the damage that remains as people return home.
San Diego State lifts its stay-at-home order for students in dorms. The lingering concerns as cases among the student body surpasses 600.
A local hospital forms a special team to find out everything they can about all the COVID-19 vaccines currently undergoing trials. And they're sharing what they've learned with ABC 10 News.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
The Valley Fire may nearly be gone, but the damage remains, a reminder of how things can change in an instant. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. That fire has burned more than 17,000 acres. Tonight, it is 87% contained. Neighbors and families returned over the weekend. All evacuations and road closures, they have been lifted. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is in Lawson Valley with a look at just how widespread the damage is.
Messages of gratitude like this one here have been posted up all over Lawson Valley for the fire crews and law enforcement officials who have been working on the Valley Fire. We're on Lawson Valley Road, and as you approach this area, it's really hard to tell that more than 17,000 acres have burned. But as you start driving down, that's really all you see for miles and miles.
They did an excellent job. You've seen all the signs around.
Driving into Lawson Valley, you look left and right and see messages of gratitude for those on the front lines working countless hours in less than ideal conditions, making sure things are safe enough for those who call this home.
I have lived in the valley since 1960. This is the fourth fire that I've been through, and it doesn't get any easier.
Approaching Montiel Truck Trail, the destruction from the Valley Fire suddenly reveals itself. Nothing but scorched land as far as the eye can see. Some homes have turned to rubble. In much of the area, fire trucks have now been replaced by utility trucks. This home here survived, but it was a close one.
I'm helping this fellow that lives here that has dementia, and I've been carrying water and groceries to him because he doesn't have a way. He doesn't drive anymore, doesn't have a way to get out.
Ron stayed behind when the fire moved through Lawson Valley, not only to help a friend, but he says he lost a home here decades before and wasn't ready to leave.
I have a few animals to take care of. If you leave, they won't let you back in, so then you can't help anybody.
The Valley Fire burned more than 17,600 acres. At least 30 homes were destroyed and dozens of outbuildings also burned to the ground. As crews continue to mop up and watch for any hot spots, many people like Ron are thankful to still be able to call Lawson Valley home.
I like being out in the country. That's why I've been here since 1960.
Reporting in Lawson Valley, Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Valley Fire evacuees took advantage of a resource center to help them figure out next steps and rebuild. The county set up this at the Rancho San Diego Library. Social workers, medical personnel, SDG&E, the Postal Service, the American Red Cross, and many other services were available to serve various needs.
I'm just checking what the resources are and want to tell the firemen how much I love and adore them for fighting the fire and the emergency crews, for thank you for saving my place and my other friends' places.
About 205 people went to that resource center over the weekend and through today. It's about to close at 7 o'clock though, but anyone who still needs help or has questions, they can call the hotline number at the bottom of your screen.
After a cool down over the weekend, temperatures are expected to rise again. Meteorologist Angelica Campos has a look at the warm-up headed our way this week. Angelica?
Hi, Kim, and it's so deceiving when you look outside and you're like, what's going on? But what you see out there is mostly smoke. We're expecting temperatures to remain above the average through the entire week. So today's numbers averaging at 81 degrees in San Diego, 80 in Oceanside, in El Cajon 95 degrees today, and also 95 in Valley Center. In Ramona, 94, and it made it to 97 in Campo. As we look at the numbers, it is 2 to 7 degrees warmer, with the warmest or the greatest warming rather happening in our inland communities and foothills. We do expect again those temperatures to be well into the 90s tomorrow in that region of the county. I'll break down what to expect and also how long we have to wait before the next cool down.
San Diego's air quality is taking a big hit from the wildfires burning in California and Oregon. The interim director of the San Diego Air Pollution Control District says smoke from Oregon rose to the upper atmosphere and blew south, combining with the smoke here. The combination has created an unhealthy level of what's called particulate pollution. That means you should limit your time outdoors. Onshore winds later this week could help break up that blanket of smoke.
President Trump joined Governor Gavin Newsom for a roundtable on California's wildfires today. The president reiterated his belief that the fires are growing exponentially worse because of poor forest management. Governor Newsom disagreed, saying the science on climate change is clear.
The ferocity of these fires, the drought, 5+ years, losing 163 million trees to that drought. Something's happened to the plumbing of the world. And we come from a perspective, humbly, where we submit the science is, in and observed evidence is self-evident that climate change is real, and that is exacerbating this.
More than 5 million acres have burned on the West Coast in the last 3 weeks. The president has threatened to withhold federal aid from California and other states if forest management policies are not changed.
Today, students in the dorms at San Diego State University are no longer under a stay-at-home order. As ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner learned, there are concerns that at least 627 cases have been connected to the campus since the start of the fall semester.
ABC 10 News visited SDSU this afternoon. It was hardly the bustling campus it usually is, despite the lift in stay-at-home orders. After being under a stay-at-home order for more than a week, students in the San Diego State University dorms are now allowed to freely come and go. The order, lifted Monday morning, had asked that they only leave for essentials after the university was hit with a spike in COVID-19 cases. All in-person instruction was paused a week and a half ago.
I mean, the first week of school, I think the cases were at like 30 or 60, and then just like in 2 weeks, it's up to like 600. So it's definitely like spreading fast.
Emma Schelling is a freshman.
We'll just be walking and someone will be like, oh yeah, I think I have corona. Like, it's insane how many people I've like heard have it or just like come into contact with already. It's just like, it's just scary.
This weekend, 23 new cases were reported. Since classes started in late August, there have been more than 600 confirmed or probable cases. The school claims the majority of students testing positive live in off-campus housing that's not managed by SDSU. Meanwhile, Paloma Nazarene University has expanded its on-campus housing for an additional 500+ students after it reportedly got updated guidance from local and state health officials. According to a campus spokesperson, many of those students moved in this past weekend after getting tested and completing safety courses. All campus instruction remains virtual. Representatives from both schools said they were unable to provide interviews Monday about plans moving forward. Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
San Diego's 14-day rolling average for positive COVID tests started a downward swing over the weekend. It's inching closer to 4% after it saw a rise during the first half of the month. The county reported 208 new cases today, bringing our total to 42,887. No new deaths on a Monday. That total remains 734.
As the world awaits a COVID-19 vaccine, there are many questions about safety, effectiveness, and availability. Scripps Health put together a special team dedicated to learning as much as possible about all the options. ABC 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena talked to the CEO about what they know so far.
Medical facilities like Scripps are used to dealing with vaccines, but when it comes to coronavirus, it's all new territory.
What we're hearing from the CDC and others is there could be multiple vaccines, and you may not even get a choice as to which vaccine you get.
CEO Chris Van Gorder tells ABC 10 News that's exactly why the healthcare provider put together a COVID-19 vaccine committee. Their job will be to review and analyze all the different vaccines being tested. Nearly 50 are in human trials, and at least 9 are in the final stages of trials.
And if we get a choice of buying a vaccine, even for all of our employees and our physicians, what 1 or 2 or 3 would those be?
He says they also know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and Scripps' job is to be the voice of science and truth.
I think, unfortunately, this drug has been, or these vaccines are being politicized a little bit in terms of what do they get released before the election or after the election. And I think that's raising some doubt with some people in terms of the safety of the drug.
In addition to becoming experts on COVID vaccines, the team will also try to figure out how to proceed once they get direction from the government on who should get it first.
And certainly there's speculation right now that healthcare professionals who are the most at risk, first responders, and certainly those patients who may be vulnerable to this disease more than others will, I'm sure, be prioritized.
Bottom line, Van Gorder says there's still a lot of unknowns, but right now, gathering the most and best information will help them proceed in the best interest of their staff and patients.
We know we're going to be questioned by our patients and by the community, and we just want to be prepared for that.
Lindsay Pena, ABC 10 News.
There are several major vaccine trials taking place in San Diego right now. At this point, experts still say we could see a vaccine approved by the FDA by the end of the year.